Well, thanks for logging on. Meteorologist Brandon Lashwick here, and we have a tropical wave to talk about in the northern Caribbean, over the greater Antilles Islands, over Cuba, southern Bahamas. That is Invest 97L. Now, right now, it's still producing some disorganized shower and storm convection you see on current satellite, and it will likely remain like that as it moves west-northwestward over the mountainous terrain of Cuba, keeping it weak until it reaches the Straits of Florida and the Gulf of Mexico, the eastern Gulf of Mexico. That's when the chance for development will be increasingly more favorable. So the latest outlook, the 7 a.m. outlook from the National Hurricane Center, does have a medium chance of development over the next 2 days and a high chance over the next 7 days for this invest as it moves generally into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Now, later today, Friday, the hurricane hunters will be flying through, getting some information, and it's possible we could see some tropical storm watches warnings issued for Florida later today, as we may see tropical storm conditions later on as you go toward this weekend. And a tropical depression or tropical storm is a possibility that we could see likely one form once it reaches the Straits of Florida and then begins to move off to the north and then northeast. Now, most of the computer models, these spaghetti plots, they do have a little bit of a consensus moving into that general region and then moving generally into somewhere along the west coast of Florida. Now, as of right now, the invest does not have a closed center of circulation. Therefore, each model run may be slightly off on that track, the exact track, and the intensity of it as well. So there may be some discrepancies, some changes of the models from run to run still until it gets into the Gulf of Mexico and forms that close center circulation. Then models have a little bit better grasp, a little better handle on where that actual low pressure center is and where it may go. Now, beyond the day 4, day 5 range heading into next week, a little bit more uncertainty on the exact track of it. There's some signs it may begin to stall, may become to slow down a little bit due to some weaker upper level steering currents as it generally moves to maybe the Carolinas or out into the Atlantic. But as of right now, for us here in Baton Rouge and Louisiana, not expecting any direct impacts from the system, but of course we want to keep monitoring this system as we go through this weekend, as the forecast may change. But right now it's looking more likely that this will be a heavier rainfall and flash flooding threat for the Florida Peninsula. So kind of generalized timing of what we could possibly expect as you go through this weekend. Over Friday, as it moves over the mountainous terrain of Cuba, likely not going to see much of development, as it will probably be weak because of that until it gets into about the southeast and Gulf of Mexico, maybe late tonight, early tomorrow morning, Saturday. That's when of course the Gulf waters, they are very warm, talking 80, 85 degrees or higher. That is a plus for development, and there will be some lower wind shear as well to help it as well. Now, the earlier it moves into Florida will be the less time over water, less chance for it to get stronger. Now, the more north of a track it takes into maybe northern Florida, the more time it would take to be over water, and therefore it could be a little bit stronger. So some model guidance does bring it to a tropical storm, maybe Category 1, a possibility, but remember, some of the model runs now you may be seeing, there is no center of circulation, so it will fluctuate on that intensity, and they may not have a best grasp on that intensity as well. So once we get of course, the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, we'll have a better understanding as well on what their thoughts and what it could possibly do. But again, right now it's looking like more so of a heavier rainfall threat for Florida. You see a lot of tropical moisture going to be pulled up with the system as it moves either over or just to the west of the west coast of Florida, bringing in that tropical moisture from the south, and that could bring some flooding rainfall, talking maybe around 4 to 8 inches of rain, possibly through Sunday night, Sunday around 11 p.m. or so. Again, here's another generalized timing about Sunday morning near around the Tampa Bay area, moving into the Bend. Again, where it makes landfall, or the exact track is still up in the air. So if you are in Florida, even the North Gulf Coast, say Mobile to Tallahassee to Panama City, just keep an eye on the forecast from day to day and from update to update. Check in with your local forecast office as well, and in the National Hurricane Center too when they get new updates from them. But again, here in Louisiana, though, not expecting any direct impacts. We will get some rain, some storms on Saturday, but this will be unrelated to this system as it moves into the Gulf. So of course, we'll always keep you up to date as we go through hurricane season, on air and online at beerproud.com. Thanks for watching.